I'm a little late to this, but there was an interesting conversation that got started by Hitzel on Twitter last week that I've been thinking about. He says, if you want to GG ping a known player after they lost, just wait. Being the 780th person to GG smiley face right as they're emotionally processing a loss isn't friendly and won't leave a good impression. Hey, we played earlier today and it was dope getting to play with you. Is. Most people agreed, but there were some vocal dissenters, and it definitely caused some conversations, so I figured I'd weigh in on it myself. Because I get this a lot. Let's take a really, really extreme example. Something on the scale that doesn't exist in the Splatoon community. Let's say you're LeBron James, and you need some groceries. You probably don't just go to a random grocery store. You may not be thinking much of the trip. You're just there to buy some rice or bananas or a jar of pickles or something. It's such a boring, brain-off, mundane, mechanical chore. But for everyone else at the store, it's more than just business as usual. It's now that time you saw LeBron freaking James at the grocery store. You're going to be telling all of your friends about this. You're going to want a picture, an interaction with him. More than just being able to tell your friend, I saw LeBron James. You want to ask him a question, tell him a joke, see how he responds to something, get a picture with him, because this is one of the coolest things that's ever happened to you. Dude would shut down the grocery store. Nothing would get done for like 2 hours. Paparazzi would be everywhere, and news networks would catch on and have a reporter on the scene if he took too long to get in and get out. It doesn't work. Celebrities wear disguises when they go out in public, and we know this because people still figure it out and take pictures of them. Nobody in the Splatoon community is going to be shutting down a grocery store like that anytime soon, but we do have some players who are very widely known in our scene. People know Chara and Jmoji and Dude. If they end up in a Splatoon lobby, chances are pretty good that the other people in the lobby know who they are. Now, these are Splatoon players. Even Jmoji, who's not a top-level competitive player like the others I mentioned, has a good number of hours in this game. When these folks lobby up, it's just another game of Splatoon for them. Maybe they're on stream chatting with their viewers, playing a randomly chosen weapon while Michael Reeves' Fortnite robot shoots them with an airsoft gun IRL every time they take in-game damage.
Please don't shoot me!
And this game they're playing means less than nothing to them, that they're actively handicapping themselves in 7 different ways. But to some of the players in that lobby, it's suddenly that time they get to play against Pro Chara himself. Oh my god, I'm so nervous. Whoa, I splatted Pro Chara. Oh my god, Pro Chara just outplayed me so hard. He's so good. Whoa, GG's Pro Chara. It's so crazy I got to play with you. And someone will at him on Twitter about it, when it was, again, just a random game of Anarchy open for him. I get this kind of message almost daily, with people like apologizing for their performance because they were nervous because they were playing with me, asking if it was really me, as if there's some imposter out there who uses all my gear in splash tag for the lulz. And there's a part of me that wants to respond like, well, yeah, I play Splatoon 3 sometimes, as it turns out. If you also play Splatoon 3, maybe we'll run into each other online at some point. Because for me, it happens all the time. It's not a new experience for someone to recognize me. I have to remind myself of how it feels to be in their shoes the one time they run into me, so that I match their energy, validate the enthusiasm that they have for seeing me. Now that's assuming that people have a positive mindset and are genuinely reaching out because they appreciate you. One thing that I think Hitzel is getting at with the tweet here is that a lot of the time you get GG's messages after a game that you lose, and that's not a coincidence. Hitting someone with the GG in their stream or something after a tough loss, especially if the streamer isn't feeling great about it, it can sometimes be pretty nakedly apparent that the person saying so isn't doing it out of general goodwill and excitement to be playing the game together. They're proud they won, and they're looking for acknowledgement for it. You had to have a really good relationship with your students as a teacher to be able to play games with them. Because if you ever lost, got beaten even on a single play, misplayed a single move, word was going to spread like wildfire around the schoolyard that so-and-so beat the teacher. And that was going to feel like a private victory for anyone who felt even remotely rebellious toward you. I don't know that I've ever seen a better teacher-student relationship than the folks I ran a Fortnite event for once, where a teacher was laughing and cracking jokes and talking smack and calling out in mock terror as he got mowed down by a couple kitted-out students up in intricate wooden fortresses while he aimed up with a green pistol from inside a bush on low ground. There was a lot of security there, because even if a kid beating you in Fortnite doesn't weigh on your ego, if they don't like you very much, it can weigh on your classroom management, because it's going to lift that kid's ego up to a place you may need the fire department to get it back down from. If you're about to post GGs in someone's chat, think for a second. If not for the streamer's sake, then for your own. Did you just win? Is there maybe a reason you would be excited for their chat to know that you were on the winning team in that game they just lost? Is there maybe just a little bit of pride that you get out of claiming that game on stream for their audience to see? I think if people are being honest with themselves, we get a lot fewer GG messages in our stream chats. Here's the thing about the GG message. Even if the streamer was trying their hardest, and they truly did get outplayed, nobody in chat actually cares that you won. Nobody's going to remember you as that guy who won a game against dude in solo queue that one time. I am living proof of this. I've played exactly one solo queue match ever against Pro Chara, and I won. 100% solo queue Pro Chara win rate. Wow. It was back in Splatoon 2, and he did well on his Brella, but his teammates kept dying instead of following up with him, and he just kind of got forced back while we scored. Nobody's looking back at that as a historic moment and lauding me as the superior player, or even someone who stands a chance against the guy. You look at our record playing against each other in a coordinated setting, I do not have that 100% win rate. In fact, he has the 100% win rate. That's what matters to both him and me. That's the setting where beating the player might actually mean something. I play around a Div 4 level, he's Div X. I'm not gonna go bragging about that one time I ran like an idiot through a ton of ink to splat Shaq from FT Win before immediately being traded back by his teammates. That doesn't mean I outplayed anyone. They still won that game easily. They still had much better KAs across the board. They weren't even thinking that hard about the game, more about which more difficult opponents they'd eventually have to face off against in the finals. We were more a warm-up for them, or an endurance challenge, hurdles to get over before they could get to the point where they would be challenged. If someone throws them a curveball and they swing and miss once, it doesn't matter if the next pitch ends up flying over the stands and breaking the windshield of someone's F-150 in the parking lot. I played a match on stream at one point where we played very competitively against Kyo and some friends. It was right when he'd first started experimenting with his stamper, and he was hanging out and having a good time. He went on to win tournaments against top teams with that weapon, so that close game we played isn't something I wear as a badge of pride. When you get your X power up higher than Kyo's peak, now you have something to talk about, though if you just kind of brag about it or try to put him down over it, people still aren't going to like you. As for the emotions of the streamers, for seeing those GGs that mean, hey, I beat you, notice me, I understand that it'll probably keep happening to me just because I'm well known, and I'm pretty good at handling it at this point. There are plenty of little things like that which are just going to happen when people are well-intentioned or otherwise, and I just don't really register them too much. I tend not to repeat stuff like this in stream chat unless someone else on the call has already said something, for the same reason that I don't read names of followers anymore. It's just not entertaining for my viewers to hear the same exchange on stream over and over again. Thanks for the follow. Thanks for the follow. Thanks for the follow. So anyway, like I was saying, oh hey, thanks for the follow. GG, you were the E-leader? From 3 games ago? Oh, I totally remember you. Great shots, I think. Thanks for the follow. It happens often enough that it's something viewers are going to tune out, so unless it's someone I actually know, someone I've got a relationship with that goes beyond this weird parasocial thing we do, someone who's got something fun or interesting to say about the match we played, is just not something I'm likely to spend time addressing. To the folks who are inevitably realizing they've done something they don't feel good about having seen this video, and are now drafting a DM to me apologizing for saying GG's that one time when they beat me on stream, save yourself the time. I don't remember it. The fact that you're being more introspective than you were before is apology enough. I don't speak for all content creators. Different people feel different ways about this experience, and you should always treat people the way they want to be treated, even if it's inconsistent with how others like them want to be treated. Some people really like it when you reach out and say GG's and will want to talk to you about it, and others are really good at pretending that they want to because it's good for growing their channel. If that's something you know about them as people, go for it. It's just not particularly interesting for me to engage with, and I totally understand where Hitzel's coming from when he asks for folks not to do so with him.